I do want to shout out Kathryn Hahn
Kathryn
though.
Hahn, yes.
Fucking phenomenal in this show. She's probably one of the best villains of the MCU, I
I
think.
agree. I know some people have said the opposite, but I think there is something to be said about uh her role in the final episode, because the final episode, um although I still enjoyed it overall, there's like so much that happens in the beginning, and you're not always, or at least in my experience of it, I wasn't always quite sure of what was happening, like with her and Wanda. Like, because at one point she's like, I want your power as the Scarlet Witch, and at another point she's like, you need to be controlled because you're going to destroy the world. And
Right.
it kind of went
I
back and forth a
yeah,
few
I think
times.
like you could definitely like kind of pick apart maybe her plan or motivations, which is once again as I mentioned before with Ultron, like great, but maybe fix your plan, Ultron. But like I think you could say the same thing about Catherine Hahn, but I think like hers makes a little bit more sense because it's more small scale. It's not like I'm gonna make a meteor and like explode
Big
the
boulder in the
Earth.
ground.
I think a lot about meteors. Boom. The end.
Exactly.
Boom.
Like his like let's be real, Ultron's plan was dumb AF. But I think her plan was more like small scale and more like kind of interesting, more interesting in the way that like yeah, like she's kind of scared of Wanda. So like you kind of almost side with her.
That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she kind of wants to stop her from being like the biggest bad guy of the universe. So you can kind of see where she's coming from. Now, like obviously she's very selfish and villainous because she's enjoying what she's doing, which is not very good. And
Yeah.
we know that she's very self-serving because she wants the power for herself. So like it's not like she's doing it completely for a noble cause. It's for herself. But I think by the end her motivation was just like, yeah, I want your power. And it doesn't even have to be as deep as maybe some of the other Marvel villains are, like Killmonger or Thanos even. Like it could be simply just, yeah, I want your power, give it to me. I'll do a better job,
Oh
kind
yeah, she
of.
does say that. She's like, you don't know how to use it. Like I know how to use it. I wish we and I assume we'll probably see more of her.
Oh,
I
we
hope.
definitely will, and I think she's gonna be the Loki of Wanda's corner of the universe. I think someone mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense because she could potentially turn kind of good. I think that could maybe potentially be her trajectory later on in the whole franchise because there's a little bit of like I wanted to do good in that flashback. Like I want to be good, and I thought that was a really important moment in episode 8 where like she maybe if we I hope that we explore her more and that maybe there's a little bit more nuance to her because maybe she does have that trauma of like killing her mom and killing all those witches. Like we saw that. Obviously, she kind of controlled that situation for when Wanda kind of possessed her. But yeah, there is a little bit there, and once again, there also just her performance is just like creepy and like gleeful. And once again, as you know, I like villains like that sometimes, especially in these Marvel shows and movies. Like sometimes you just need a bad guy that loves being a bad guy. um you have your Thanoses where like they think they're doing right, and Killmonger where they think it's a noble thing, they think they're the hero of the story. Sometimes you just need a gal, a witch who's cackling and just loving what she's doing, messing things up. So yeah, I thought like there was just little nuances to her performances, multiple performances because in the sitcom world, but and her song, her performance in the song, like her facial acting was some of the best facial acting I've ever seen just in general. And I think like that was the peak of like her performance. I thought like was once again with no words, just like showing her intent in that song was just so fun. And like that, especially she's kind of like looking in the mirror whatever, and then just kind of looks at the camera like hey, so anyway. You know, there's just little things like that, and things I'm sure you will go. You know, if we go back to the show, like you'll find, and yeah, it's just so fun, and I can't wait to see more of her. But I thought her performance was already really good already, like in this show. So it's yeah, just so much good stuff.
Retweet all that. Retweet every single
Retweet.
word of that. I agree. I hope that this show does more to help uh convince people that the MCU are like legit, because there's been this as I'm sure you know, and anyone who knows me knows, because I talk about this quite frequently, because it's a topic that I think is very important to talk about, is the whole Marvel films not being cinema, and just something that I think deserves to be mentioned over and over and over again, is how much of a love letter this is to like television, and how much it shows like everyone at Marvel are like, they're, more than competent storytellers. Like they're great storytellers. I
Yep.
dare say incredible storytellers.
Absolutely, David. Thank you so much for being an awesome guest. Thanks again for listening. And what is love? No, wait. What is grief? But love. Forget it.
Precipitating.
Precipitating. Thank you. You got it.
Boom.